Hi there. My name is Adam Metallo. I'm here with Vincent Rossi, and we both work for the Smithsonian Institution. We actually work in the Smithsonian's 3D lab, but our background is in fine arts. And we started at the Smithsonian in their model shop, so we used to make exhibits, and that would entail anything from sculpting to mold making to creating dioramas for display. And that's how we actually got into 3D documentation. We got a scanner and a 3D printer, and it was a tool to make more authentic exhibits. Before too long, it was clear that there were a lot of other applications and a whole lot of demand for 3D tools from conservation or conservators, educators, and it was also clear that when you take the time to scan something, that you need to sort of make the most of that data set by leveraging it in many different deliverables. And so that's what we've begun doing.
So we've transitioned from this world of exhibits to now we're full-time working on 3D projects. So we're developing 3D capacity at the Smithsonian. We have one other employee back at home, Jonathan Blundell, who's actually scanning a T-Rex right now. And that's something we'll be helping out with.
We're jealous.
Starting tomorrow, and we're very jealous. So we're in a pretty interesting position in that we work at a huge institution. The Smithsonian is 19 different museums, 9 research centers. We have 139 million objects, and you're looking at most of the 3D capacity right here. So we have to be really strategic in how we tackle 3D projects at the Smithsonian. And our strategy was to come up with a concept of something we called Smithsonian X3D. With Smithsonian X3D, we had each one of the Smithsonian museums nominate an object or an archaeological site where they have some sort of problem that needed to be solved, and we thought that, or we would use 3D technologies to help solve that problem. So to give you an example, for the National Portrait Gallery, we 3D scanned Abraham Lincoln's life masks. For the Air and Space Museum, we 3D scanned the 1903 Wright Flyer. And we also had some surprising collaborations. We worked with Smithsonian Gardens, and we micro-CT scanned a rare orchid as well as the pollinator insect to study how that pollination happens, looking at the geometry of that insect and the orchid and how that unique coupling happens. So we think that there are, I guess what we've learned with 3D technology and with these explorations is that using 3D technology at the Smithsonian has just this huge potential, right?
Yep, and so now that we have about 20 objects under our belt that represent very different use cases, the next step is to actually take what we've learned and figure out a way to industrialize the process. So if you've digitized 20 objects for a museum complex that has millions of objects, we need to figure out how to move from dozens a year to thousands a year, and potentially tens of thousands a year in the not too distant future. So digitizing collections instead of objects is our next step and a big goal that lays ahead of us.
Yeah, in the past few months, one of the big challenges we faced was, I should start over. We've been able to 3D scan objects and archaeological sites at very high resolution for a number of years now. One of our limiting factors is that once we 3D scan an object, how do we deliver that 3D scan data to a researcher on the other side of the globe, or just to the general public? So we worked with Autodesk, and we created a 3D Explorer, a 3D viewer, where anyone with an internet connection and a modern browser can experience any of these objects that we 3D scanned. So one of the important components of the 3D Explorer is that we're able to pull up one of these models that we 3D scanned. So we have the 1903 Wright Flyer. We can click on the Wright Flyer, that model loads in your browser. We can spin that model around, but we can also learn about this object. So we're using the 3D model sort of as a scaffolding to tell the story or the history of the 1903 Wright Flyer. And we think that's a huge value. So in that way, we're supporting Smithsonian research. So Smithsonian researchers can explore these models using our 3D viewer, and of course, the general public can as well.
Yep, so all that said, as we sort of learn how to industrialize the process and digitize more and more objects, the ones that we have available and online, we're really keen to see what the world can do with it. So whether it be a middle school student learning how to render, or a high school classroom with a 3D printer, we want to see what this type of data means to the world, and we're very excited about that.
Yeah, so it's a big exploration, right? So in November, November of 2013, when we launched our 3D Explorer, we also announced to the world that people could download the data, right? And that was one of the most exciting things that we could do, because now people can take the highest resolution 3D scan data of some of the most important Smithsonian collection objects and download that data and create an animation or a rendering or 3D print that object in their home or in the classroom. And the 3D printing angle is also really exciting for us because we're able to work with Smithsonian educators and wrap STEM curriculum around these 3D printable objects that we've scanned. So we're actually, we're sort of exceeding or getting beyond the hype of 3D printing, because I think there is still a lot of hype around 3D printing, and being able to actually tie lesson plans to a 3D print that you're printing out in the classroom can be an incredibly engaging way to pull students in and learn about the history of America or the world.
Yeah, so I think that sums it up, but you can check everything out at 3d.si.edu. That's our website. And feel free to check it out and give us feedback, and thank you very much.